Welcome to Project Metaverse! I'm James Durham. I will be your host and GM. Joining at the table is Luke Edmondson, Jess Weaver, and Christian Doyle. I know as well we have the maestros of Metaverse magic, the amazing Mark and Mark back behind the cameras. What is Project Metaverse? Project Metaverse is the story of unlikely heroes forced into dire circumstances, doing what is necessary to save the Metaverse with the guidance and assistance of the mysterious entity known as Tom. Project Metaverse, like all of our Zoe shows, is completely funded and supported by fans like you. Visit our Patreon page now, find out how you can support this show and other great content like it. Like DFA, next month, Saturdays, it's going to be here. We got Masters of the Metaverse coming back February 5th.
Yeah!
There's Strowers, there's Journey Quest. We got other things hidden in the works, secrets, plotting, treachery. It's all coming your way. Great things for you guys. And speaking of Patreon, I've got our poll results. And they are as follows. Luke, you get plus 10 hit points and plus 4 to a roll for today's game. Jess?
Yes.
Plus 20 hit points and plus 7 to a roll.
Wow, thanks.
And Mr. Doyle, plus 60 hit points and plus 9 to a roll.
Jeez.
Which means I have a total of 60 hit points now.
And as for me, plus 10 hit points and plus 3 to a roll. They stopped liking me after last week. I don't know what I did wrong.
Thank you, chat.
Don't
Yeah.
you know what you did.
I wouldn't say it was wrong. I also want to take a moment and thank some very special subscribers by name. Chris Piazza, thank you.
Thank you.
Liz Lilly, our very own Pax, the chronicle of the Metaverse herself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why are we just thanking her every week?
That is a good question. Why don't we just
Why
thank
don't we
her
just
every
thank her
week?
every week?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do from here on out. And Hawk Robinson, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank God.
I've got the store, which you have seen, and a special thank you to Mist Winter for the early tip for the Tom buff. Much
Oh
appreciated.
yeah, thanks.
Oh.
I've got Rules of Cool. We've got loot boxes, triple plays, meta points. Everybody's got a buff, and then your personal favorite, the Hack Attack.
Yay!
We're using the tri-stat system, which of course means roll low.
Roll low. Roll low.
And without
Roll
further
low.
ado, previously on Project Metaverse, our group of heroes were recruited to take part in a new virtual reality gaming beta test. Things turned out to be much more than they seemed after they were joined by the entity Tom. Learning that the metaverses were in fact real places, our pilots changed the course of history within Sentinel City and helped bring about the ubiquitous dome. During these events, Andy James left her metapod and escaped the facility. Later, after a period of lockdown and cloak and dagger activities, Maddox, Brony, and Wyatt entered a secret hidden sub-basement level of the Project Metaverse complex, while some form of battle raged outside of the facility. Using old metapods located in the secret basement, they entered the world of the Weird West, joined by Andy James on a mission from Tom: save the Metaverse. Following a wild adventure through Texas, our heroes confronted a host of werewolves and General Custer himself within the basement of the Alamo, a place of great power and mystery. In that moment, their heroic deaths and actions came together to create a world-altering event, and they were cast through the Metaverse to a strange, not Metaverse, called Toyland, a mysterious realm of hidden dangers and fear. Our pilots were sent into the avatars of 12-year-old children, Bobby, Angel, and Lizzie. With great difficulty and outside assistance from the entity Chat, Tom was able to finally reach and assist them in evading dangers set before them by the dark and fearsome entity behind this realm. Our pilots then encountered this being, calling itself Harvester, some form of dark creature who feeds off the fear of his trapped victims. Unwilling to be easy prey, our heroes boarded a mock train roller coaster headed to Candy Town, where they discovered the map and discarded objects of another group of children. Following in their footsteps, our heroes fought off the deadly Jawbreakers and then proceeded to the Tower Cake. Once there, they freed the imprisoned Jonathan from his fate as a giant frosting monster and ascended the spire. Confronting harvesters on the tower's battlements, Angel was thrown from its heights, only to be rescued at the last moment by Tom, where she was returned to her time and Miss Andy James to a fate yet to be revealed. And now, Project Metaverse. The tower top is empty. The past several moments replay before your eyes. Angel, Andy, she's gone. To where, you don't know. The creature, Harvester, is nowhere to be seen. Despite the terrors of the past 24 hours, you can't help but appreciate the view. Behind you, the park, rides, games, funhouse, and ruined Candy's Town are easily visible from here, slowly fading like many of the other things you've seen. Ahead to one side, you can see an evergreen forest leading to a tall mountain peak, a skull-faced castle carved into its side. On the other, a sinister and foreboding swamp.
Hello, pilots. Shall we play a game? Hashtag hack attack, hashtag charity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's
With an-
play.
With an old decrepit manor house in its center, the tower begins to creak and crumble, and large swaths of frosting fall from it as it shakes. In a bright flash of light, Tom appears.
Greetings, pilots. I am here to serve. Oh. Oh my. You are quite a ways up.
Yeah.
How did you plan on getting down?
Well, Tom, we hadn't really gotten that far. Any suggestions?
Yes. You have to jump.
Squeeze me?
Base jumping. You are familiar.
Conceptually, yes.
Yeah.
Far too traumatic for children, isn't it? Very well.
Oh.
You're welcome. So, here's how you base jump. Put the hand up to each of you. Hopefully this knowledge will help. Oh. And these parachutes.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Feeling much better about this whole prospect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. Did you take care of Andy and Angel? Are they okay at this point?
I believe so.
Okay.
What?
Yes, unequivocally yes.
Okay. Where are they?
Well, in our timeline, one of them is dead. And the other one is Andy.
That's a
It was the,
comfortable way of framing that, but thank you.
it was the 1920s.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying.
If she were
That was a
alive today,
strange
she
way
would
of
be
framing.
very, very old. Uncomfortable to look at old. Which I'm told by Andy is a thing.
Okay. Well, I feel like we've learned something.
Mm-hmm. We've learned that we don't have long before this crumbles. You should jump.
Yeah. Okay. Let's jump then.
Let's
Base
do it.
jumping is not something new to you, Maddox.
No.
You're kind of able to help Wyatt through the process of how to properly put on a parachute.
Yeah.
Well, he's no stranger to physical activity. He is not the daredevil you are.
No.
He's got the theory behind it.
Yes. Like I said.
I
it's a
believe in
concept.
you.
Gearing up, you of course guide him and let him jump first, and as he leaps and pulls the chute, you immediately follow him. In the fall, the wind picks up very strongly, but seemingly in two different directions, separating the two of you as you fly out over the forest.
Unanticipated.
Descend down into the trees, raking two branches, slapping you across the face and landing on cold ground. Will each of you roll two 8-sided dice and compare it to your mind score, please? If it is less than your mind score, that's good. If it is not, let me know.
It is not.
All right.
It's definitely not.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
You're not sure where you are. The last thing you remember is the Alamo and dying.
Well, it's the holidays and that means it is the time for miracles and gifts. So from all of chat to all of you, some gifts to help you in the coming fight. Remember who you are and who you fight for. Stay together. Chat has your back. Hashtag hack attack.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, Chad.
What impeccable timing about staying together.
I know.
Now that you've been unwillingly separated.
The last thing you remember is dying and the Alamo. The same for you, Maddox. You're in a forest somewhere, and the last memory you have is dying in the Alamo. The pain, the blood,
The intestines.
the intestines,
Yeah.
Delicious intestines.
and some kind of dark woods, coniferous, fairly cold. Ground is covered in pine needles and moss.
Can I tell, based on where I've landed, where I came through the canopy?
Yeah, you can look up. Looking back behind, you see the remnants of what looks like a giant tower wedding cake, like building size, crumbling into pieces. The last of it coming down very, very loudly.
We can't see each other?
At the moment, you cannot.
Yeah, how far? Okay, so I'm just by myself.
The last thing you remember is the Alamo.
Yeah.
You're in the dark woods.
Okay.
It's cold.
Okay, well,
So I actually have night vision.
Correct.
Is there any path that looks like it's going to be less dense?
It's actually fairly open under the trees. Like the limbs are fairly high above you. It's but very screened from the sun because of it. You know, like our wonderful woods around these parts, where you can't really see the sky, but underneath is nice, soft, padded, pine needle-covered, mossy ground. It's not really difficult to traverse, and you actually have a rather wide field of view. It's just all tree trunks.
can I climb a tree real quick?
Oh yeah.
Climb a tree a little bit, and I'm looking for Wyatt. I'm looking for Andy. I'm looking for Brony. I'm looking.
Well, climbing the tree, you see that same cake tower crumbling down. And while you don't see anybody climbing up in the tree, you see the remnants of a parachute about 500 yards away or so, tangled up in the trees.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna climb down and start headed that direction towards the parachute.
You wander that way. It's very cold. Fog seems to rise up from the ground as you're walking. You think you see something moving ahead. Why? You hear something moving in the woods. It's close.
I am going to try to climb up a tree as well, just to get myself away from whatever is coming.
You start climbing the tree. You can't quite see it or anything. You see something in the woods moving. It looks like it's scampering up a tree. It's hard to make out what it is from here.
Okay. Do I have anything on me? I know I don't remember anything, but do I have
Everything that Lizzie has, you have on you. You are still in the body of Lizzie, and with all of Lizzie's possessions. So look on the Lizzie's sheet, and Lizzie has everything Lizzie has, which also includes in that bag a briefcase containing a hydrogen bomb.
I was really hoping that went away with Andy.
I'm sorry, I missed what?
I have a hydrogen bomb.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm looking over here, and I see I have a slingshot, and
And you were also noticing the first time that you were in the body of a child.
yeah, that's kind of, but
You don't remember coming into this body anything of this nature.
no,
Something definitely is wrong.
no, absolutely.
Get about a third of the way up the tree. You think you see something crouched down by another tree, maybe 50, 60 feet from you, looking at you.
I'm just gonna...
Whatever was climbing up the tree stopped, frozen in place.
Can I take my slingshot and a nearby pebble and just kind of shoot and aim towards the thing's bottom half? So not
Give me
trying to
a shooting.
hurt it. I'm trying to draw attention.
Give me a shooting, but use Maddox's scores because you're in full pilot.
Yeah, right. Oh shoot. Well, that's still good. It's always gonna be good. I beat it by 6.
You take a pebble right to the knee. It smarts, but it's not enough to do any damage. Son of a...
That's Wyatt. I know that voice. That's Wyatt. So I'm good. Well, is it? Who's it? It's a higher version of Wyatt.
A hash LOOT for a Wyatt from someone named Yart. A nice fencing foil.
Excellent. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so I'm gonna yell out. Wyatt.
Yes?
Wyatt, it's Maddox.
I'll come on down.
You see a 12-year-old girl in like 80s fashion. Kind of stuff you used to wear, you know.
Do you know what's going on
Wyatt is a little boy dressed like he's straight off of Leave It to Beaver.
It's a good look for you.
here? Oh, okay. Much the same. So, the last thing I remember, we were in the West.
Yeah. I jumped down a werewolf's mouth. And I asked you to
That
get
was
me
pretty
out
cool.
in case.
That was pretty cool.
I asked you to save me, and now here we are. Have you seen anyone else? Do you know where Brony or Andy is? Or
Nope.
okay. Well, Tom's around. I mean,
Hi, I'm Tom. How can I serve you?
hey, what's going on? Where are we?
You are in the forest that you just landed in about a few minutes ago after you jumped. You're wearing parachutes.
What happened before that? The last thing both of us remember is being in the West and dying.
Oh, you are trapped in the bodies of children in a nightmare world.
Okay.
Well, that is not how I thought this was going to go. Okay.
I am sorry, I didn't mean for that to surprise you. I thought you knew, having experienced many of the nightmares yourself and facing some of your avatar's greatest fears.
Fortunately, no. I guess I don't remember any of that.
Oh, no, I think it would be important to the growth of character for you to remember that. What do you remember?
being in the woods. I don't remember. I mean, we were in the West, and I told you guys to help me get out, and I jumped down the dude's throat, and then I was wearing a parachute.
So the first thing you remember after the West and being eaten by werewolves is being right here in this forest?
Waking up right here.
Yeah.
You woke up right here.
Well, I guess you could call it waking up. I don't remember being, so
Interesting. It could be the forest.
it could be the forest.
Analyzing. Pollen, perhaps? Interesting. Little wind couldn't hurt.
The wind starts picking up and blowing through.
We should move our way out of the forest while it clears up.
Okay.
Lead the way.
I do not know where we are going. I have some ideas of where we should go. But we should wait till your head's a little clearer first, shouldn't we?
Right.
That would seem to scan, yes.
You walk through the forest for a few minutes. And up ahead, you think you see, like, twinkling different colored lights?
Christmas lights?
That's what it looks like.
Are those
So-
safe?
How are your memories feeling? The same?
You're starting to get a little fuzzy recollection of a carnival and balloons. Vague flashes of memory.
Oh! Oh.
And then you remember Andy James disappearing from the top of top.
Andy's gone.
You saved Andy.
Yes, and then you jumped off the cake.
And
That was 10 minutes ago.
That was when? What? That was just 10 minutes ago.
Maybe a little longer.
there were other children who were here before us. I think there were 2
3. 1 you have rescued. There are 2 more.
and 2 left.
Right, and we're
Okay.
going to rescue them.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
great. Where are they? Where are they?
Well, if I had to take a guess, I'd go right for that big castle.
The one you just had us leave?
No, not the cake.
A skull
Castle.
carved in the side of a mountain.
I mean, that seems an obvious place to me. If I were creating a nightmare world, I would definitely have a castle with a skull on it. It's actually not a terrible idea.
I don't get, no, stop with your ideas. It's, okay.
Let's just stick to stopping the Nightmare Castle
Yeah.
rover.
Yes, of course.
Lovely.
Not creating more. Okay, so
And it's just a lovely feature, though, isn't it?
If that's your motif, it is well done.
It doesn't fit with the rest of the motif. It's not made of candy. It doesn't look like it's in an amusement park. It's not edible in any way. I'd say that's the most odd and unique place on the island currently.
we're on an island?
Of a sort.
Okay.
I seem to recall the physics of this place.
And I remember
Being
a lot of
somewhat
candy
strange.
and stuff.
But up is up and down is down, and that's all we need to know for right this second.
So let's go up towards the Skull Mountain.
Ignore the glittering lights, Christmas lights in the woods.
Probably just carolers.
Do you remember anything about lights before?
Not that I can think of, no.
Most of your memories seem to be focused around amusement park type
And
attractions
candy
and
and-
candy. Very
like-
childlike things. Yes.
But I remember games.
Yes, you do remember games.
I remember games, and I remember like carnival games, like the water gun and the
Oh,
darts. Do you
yes, yes,
remember
yes,
that?
yes, yes.
I had darts. Maybe that's more of the carnival. Maybe that's the carnival place with the games. I mean,
Carnivals are places with games.
and kids like games.
Yeah,
You've
Kids
been
like
in an
games.
evil carnival. I thought I'd made that clear. Evil
Wyatt has
carnival.
night vision, doesn't he?
Yes.
You have a slightly better view than the other students. Definitely Christmas lights or holiday lights, however you would appropriately like to say it. I don't really care. And they're on a tree, like the tree that you would find in a living room and in a house.
Oh, presents!
There are presents underneath the tree.
Tom turns and starts floating right towards the presents.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna stick with Tom, so I'm following him.
He doesn't walk. He's just kind of floats along the surface.
Oh yeah, no, I wish I could float too, but I got legs, so I'll use them.
Don't
It is
worry.
most definitely
We all float down
a
here.
tree.
Oh, well, oh boy, that was well placed.
You're welcome.
I'm here to serve.
It is definitely a holiday tree. It's tinsel and garlands around it, and there are 5 packages underneath it. Each with
Ooh.
little tags on them.
I can't pick things up. Would you?
I just want to look at the tags first.
Read
The
the
first
tags
tag reads Wyatt. The second tag reads Maddie. The second reads Bobby, or third reads Bobby. The fourth, Lizzie, and the fifth says Tom.
Well, I see one is for me. Wait. Lizzie and Bobby.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Lizzie.
Right. Yes. Oh, you are coming back. This
Okay.
is wonderful news.
Okay.
So we get. Oh God. Okay.
2 presents each. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Who's the third? The fifth is for.
Yours. You have one. And one says Tom.
Is it me, Tom? There are many other Toms.
Is
it all capital letters?
It is in fact all capital
Are there
letters.
periods in between?
There are periods in between.
Yeah.
That is me.
Great. Do you want to open it yourself or
Very much.
help? Here you go. I passed Tom's present to him.
He can't really take it from you.
Well,
Have you ever opened a present before?
I
It's
can't-
like trying to hand a present to air.
Would you like either of us to open it for you?
Oh no, open yours first. I can wait.
Okay. You don't seem like you can wait.
I can.
Wyatt, which one are you opening?
I'll open Bobby's first.
Bobby's. As you open it up, Bobby's head is flooded with the memories of being in Toyland. All of the tortured, horrible things that have happened to him. Inside is a watch. It's his dad's watch. The one he's carried around for years. It stopped working a long time ago at his father's funeral, and it immediately just starts clicking again. The time running. But it's going backwards.
That's not weird.
Swatch. Sorry.
2 years.
Comfortable hunk of metal.
Do you know what
What?
that means?
What time is it at now?
Midnight.
Okay. So this watch hasn't worked in years.
Okay.
A decade.
And it's running backwards now. Starting from midnight.
Okay.
Huh. Maybe that's just meant to be creepy. I mean, we did just find presents in the middle of the woods. What else did you get?
You open the box for wine. Inside, sealed envelope, return to sender printed on the outside. J. Maxwell on the sender's address. And then your name, your old prison inmate number, and the correctional facility address. A letter you never got.
Let's open that bad boy.
It was the letter that you always wished you had gotten when you were inside. Thought that your dad had just, you know, never left anything behind for you like this. But it's there. It's something he wrote before he passed, when you were real little. When you were just a toddler. Something he had intended for you to read when you were growing up. Telling you about being a man, about everything he experienced in the war. Just everything, you know, a father should tell his son that he never was going to get the chance to.
You okay?
Yeah. This harvester is a real asshole. What about you? What'd you get?
I want to open Maddox's first.
It's a simple, torn scrap of paper from an Archie comic book. It looks like Mac's favorite Archie comic book. The one he carries around everywhere. And written in his handwriting on it, very simple letters. I miss you, Maddie.
What's in the other box?
It's the mixtape that Lizzie made for Troy in the group home before they hauled him off to the loony bin. The only guy she ever got along with in there. The last time she ever thought about making a friend.
He sounds like he had dreamy eyes.
Not now, Tom.
What's in my box?
Do you want to help him?
Yeah.
Opening the box is an answering machine. The light is blinking on it, so there is a message written.
Interesting. It's an old telephone. Just what I wanted. Thanks. I can't close it.
Do you want to hear what's on it? It looks like there's a message.
You both got such wonderful gifts, and I got this. Interesting. Yes, make it work.
As the message plays and you hear the voice, it takes you back to a moment. Mount Rushmore. Kid Titan stepping in front of you. The punch landing. His chest caving in. Why did you do that, Butch? I wasn't worth it. And everything that's happened since is all my fault. If you would have just let him do it, just let me take the hit, then none of this would have happened. Your uncle would still be alive. No one's mind would have been messed with. And you would still be whole. Why didn't you just let me take the hit? I'm sorry, Butch. I'm so sorry.
I see.
Your memories are fully restored.
It was a good gift.
Yeah? Yeah.
Effective,
remember.
if nothing else.
Tom, I remember when we were going through whatever this hellhole is right now, and you were saying that you were doing everything that you could to try and figure out where we were, how we got there, because this isn't a metaverse. This is where, like, have you found anything out so far? Where are we? How did we get here?
We are someplace small.
Small? Okay. It doesn't seem very small.
It's not supposed to. It's all here designed to scare you, I think. But that's all right.
Okay.
You're both here now. And stronger than you were a few minutes ago. Yes?
And that does seem to be harvesters.
Re-hardened by your own memories. Yes? Good. Then we need a plan. I am tired of this.
Agreed.
Oh my.
So, let's take the fight to him, shall we?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You're going to have to do the majority of the heavy lifting. I must not act, although I am able to do so in a limited capacity here, which is refreshing.
You were a bobblehead.
You were a bobblehead.
You were a bobblehead.
You
That
were a
just
bobblehead.
happened to
That's
me.
not an epithet. That is literally you were a bobblehead.
Where did that go?
Then I do not know what you mean.
You don't remember that?
No. Whatever that was, it is not me. And if it's a toy, I suggest you throw it away immediately.
I want to look through Lizzie's stuff. Do I have a bobblehead? Do I have a tobblehead?
Start digging through.
My bag of...
Oh yeah, you do, except it's not Tom.
It's not Tom anymore?
Oh no, it has this ugly top hat, the skin is pale, and it has long little claws on it.
Fucker. Look what I just found.
It makes you uncomfortable to hold it.
Yes, that does not look in the least bit dangerous.
That was you.
No.
Yeah, it was. I swear.
No, it was not me.
Wait, that what?
It looked like it was you.
It's too small to be me, Wyatt Maxwell.
Just let it go.
Yeah. Okay.
Just let it go.
Okay.
You're still holding it. Let it go.
No, I let it go, and then I see that I have these kick-ass combat boots, and I remember something about wanting to stomp before, and I'm gonna take revenge now with that last moment, and I'm just gonna try and stomp on it.
Every time her boot comes down, it seems like everything shudders.
That can be easily weaponized.
Yeah, these boots are kick-ass.
I think the figure can be easily weaponized.
The toy? I would not trust it.
I lift up my foot. Is it still there? Did I
It's
damage
pretty
it?
smashed up. Yeah, you crushed up the plastic pretty good. It's just bits of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the bobblehead is no longer solid.
Is there a tree near me?
Lots of them.
Okay, I'm just
We were
gonna...
in the forest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a tree, and I just want to, like, kick it and see what happens as hard as I can.
It's like kicking a tree as hard as you can.
Did a tree fall?
Nope.
Ah, damn. Okay. Worth a shot. I don't know. What is this? What do I have?
Looking back, the bobblehead pieces aren't there anymore.
Oh, it escaped. That's probably not good. We should move.
Let's press on, yes.
You press on through the forest, headed towards the Skull Keep on the mountain.
Yeah.
And as you travel, different strange things happen. As you're walking, you see off in the woods, it is as though everything changes, and Lizzie sees the moment that another girl was chosen for adoption over her when she was just 5. The first time she really had her heart crushed. Bobby is at his dad's funeral. They're folding up the flag, handing it to him.
Are you
Wyatt.
saying things?
Why?
Wyatt's at that exact moment. You see the judge looking down at you as the guilty verdict is delivered and the gavel slams. Maddox, you look over your shoulder and can see Max staring out the window of the apartment like he was when you left for Project Metaverse. As you're seeing these different things, each of you sees and experiences what the other is seeing as well. You see Wyatt's moment when the judge slams the gavel down. You see Bobby take the folded up flag.
He knows we're here.
Of course.
He didn't know who we were before. And now he knows everything.
No, no one knows everything. I checked.
What did you check?
I made sure no one knows everything. Least of all this
The
harvester.
gifts were not meant to be unkind, only to give you back what he takes. Our connections make us. Now use them to make him pay. Hashtag MetaPoint.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Well said.
Absolutely. Stepping clear of the dark forest, before you was a sheer rock face of a mountain. High above, carved into its side, is an open-mouthed, massive grinning skull, topped with battlements. A torrent of water flows from the mouth, plummeting more than 1,000 feet in a cascading waterfall, forming a lake at the base of the mountain. There does not seem to be any path or roadway leading up to this castle.
We may have to climb. We should arm ourselves. What do you have?
I have.
Slingshot, toy gun, darts.
Yeah.
What else? Boots?
I mean, I got my boots. The ground shook.
Pocket knife.
That just won't do.
No.
That castle is very ominous. That is a very ominous looking castle.
It most certainly is.
Here. Using a loot box or using a Tom buff.
Tom buff! What is in the Tom box?
This has a strange looking sword in it. Shaped like such.
It's a badass sword.
Okay.
And for you, what year did you say you were from again?
1988.
This is a psionic spirit blade.
Okay. Nice. Thanks.
It's clearly a lightsaber.
God, got it.
It makes the noise and everything that I'm not going to.
Not as clumsy as a blaster.
I have the power?
No, in front of the battlements.
I have the power?
Bobby is suddenly in fur underwear, fur boots, a little leather harness on the top, and he's an extremely muscular 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I guess what would I say?
Say?
You said something. You said something and became something, and
No.
I want to get muscles like that.
Oh, exercise is key. Or a magic sword like he has.
Much easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
yours is a lightsaber. It's the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
It's for doing sweet flips and stabbing baddos.
Do I get like a costume or anything?
There you go.
It doesn't seem like something to complain about. You look like you're enjoying it.
Well, yeah, totally.
Good, let's go find some baddos to do sweet flips around and stab.
Okay.
I'm certain I can climb this now.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's going to be a side effect of your voice.
Well, that won't get grating at all.
No, I'm sure it won't.
Wonderful.
You begin to ascend the rock face. The climb is brutal and treacherous.
And much easier when you have super strength.
Much easier when you have super strength, this is true. Though, amazingly enough, the leather-jacketed girl is keeping up quite well, mostly because Maddox is one hell of a climber.
Search your feelings. I think it helps.
To search my.
You know it to be true.
You get about 100 yards up the face, about a third of the way up, when a form appears over the battlements. Unmistakable. Slowly moving,
Excuse me.
jerky movements. And then Tom is up there next to him. He's hauling along a very large-looking rock. And he wedges it up to the battlements and starts rolling it up.
on those children? Given your MO, that doesn't seem like it would be very frightening.
What are you doing here?
Oh, modus operandi. Mode of operations. It's outside of yours. I'm watching you throw a large... But he's about to throw a large boulder on you, children!
Get out of here!
Oh, yes, of course.
And a rock comes tumbling over the side.
I shall cut it in twain!
Give me a fighting roll, please.
The jacket's gotta come off.
Beat it by 2.
You quite easily cut the boulder in half with the sword. It's perfect cut.
It even goes, shing!
Very dramatically.
This is amazing!
Yes, it seemed appropriate.
He seems very frustrated and disappears from the battlements. Again, while difficult, the climb is not interrupted as you keep. You finally reach the castle. There's a
I wasn't
pathway.
supposed to tell you about the rock. Sorry.
There's a pathway leading inside of the mouth, parallel to the torrent of water. Its jaws are open. There's no doorways. It's just an open mouth of a skull. A little pathway that goes in it, and the water running right beside it. The waterfall right at the mouth. It looks vaguely familiar to you, Wyatt. You just can't place it.
So I know this was Andy's thing, but do you still have a mirror by chance?
I have her basket and I have a hydrogen bomb, and I look in there.
We should discuss that.
Okay, so...
Yes, if we can get rid of that, that would be awesome.
Only really a few ways to do that.
That was the problem I was coming
Not
up with.
many of them safe, especially for 12-year-olds. It specifically says on the thing not to be used by children. There's a sticker. There should be a sticker!
Right, well, we didn't pick it. It was given to us. We got a loot box, and what was it? We got a jackhammer and a H-bomb.
Oh, yes, what a great combination.
To be honest, the jackhammer was useful.
Yeah, we used it.
What'd you do with it?
We tried to look under plywood that was blown up. The gingerbread house was blown up, and there was plywood, and I thought there was be something underneath, so...
Underneath the snowfield in Candyland.
There's plywood, yes.
Right, and we tried to get through that to see what was below.
And then Harvester came down and picked it out and left Bobby, thank God.
Did you see?
It was just a hole, and it was really, really, really deep, and I tried throwing a marble down, and it rolled to the castle.
Maybe it was China.
China?
It was not China.
No, I don't think it was, but...
Andy's grandmother used to tell her a colloquialism about digging a hole deep enough to go there. Although, if she had actually dug that hole, that's not where it would have led. If she dug straight down, she would have had to turn 47 degrees.
Impressive calculations.
I'm a computer.
Still?
So I'm gonna look in the basket that hydrogen bomb... Is there a mirror in there?
It does not seem to be.
Okay, no mirrors. I don't have anything.
Well, then I suggest we
the
press
water,
on.
the water reflects. Water reflects images.
You could get some to be still quite easily. Just
Do I?
And then, there's also a really, really shiny sword.
Do you have a bowl or anything?
The reflection is kind of odd. It's almost two-dimensional, and then, wait a minute. Yeah, there's something like flashing in the middle. Press start. Over and over again.
Where's what do you see?
It looks like it's a video game.
What's a video game?
The castle.
That's where you remember it from.
Oh, yes.
Skull Castle, the arcade game. You played it.
I think this harvester might have been someone from our world, originally. If not, he has access to a very specific video game.
He does know about skee-ball as well.
That can't be a multiversal thing.
I would think not.
I mean,
Oh, there is skee-ball in many metaverses, however. I believe it is a world sport in one of them.
Do you remember how to play? I never played this. What's it be?
It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up game.
Yeah, like Castlevania. So you use your weapon to knock out light sources and to kill monsters. And then you jump and try not to die. At the end of the level,
You say that
find
with
a
such
boss.
ease. You say that with such ease.
I'm just telling you what the object of the game is. I'm not the one who has to play.
I remember jump attacks being particularly effective.
Okay. Okay. Are you coming in with us?
Well, I see no reason to stay out here. It's all the same. In here is different. And I haven't seen in here yet.
Where's the start button?
Usually in the middle and slightly
Right.
to the right.
Here.
Nothing. Just the castle's in front of you. The mouth is open. A pathway leading inside.
You have to go in.
Okay, we've already started.
I believe it starts once we go in.
Yes, right now there's a very angry child behind you waiting his turn patiently while you stand still at the beginning part of the first level.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yes.
In this metaphor, the impatient child is me.
You enter the mouth of the Skull Castle. The water is rushing by the pathway. It's pretty narrow, so kind of in single file. At the far end of it is an ascending staircase. Right about the moment you reach the staircase, an ugly, slimy, very familiar black tentacle streaks up from the river
Oh no.
and reaches towards Lizzie's leg.
It is black tentacle.
It's a sewer squid.
Ah, sorry.
Quickly encircling her ankle,
Thought maybe
it pulls her
we'd
to
be
her
higher
back
for
and
Sam.
begins dragging her towards the water's edge. Let's have some initiative.
Plus attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do we got?
21.
You have an initiative bonus.
Yep. Maddox has
far
an
right.
initiative bonus.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, 26.
26 for Maddox,
27.
27 for Maxwell, and 6 for Tentacle Beast. Mr. Maxwell, you're first. It has grabbed her and is pulling her towards the raging water. Anyone caught in that current is going right out that waterfall.
I shall try to sunder the beast thusly with my sword.
Make a fighting roll, please.
By the power of Face Castle!
Face Castle says no! Beat it by 1.
Swing down with all of your might. You carve the tentacle in twain. Releasing its grip on her, there's a shrieking sound that is, again, familiar. It's not, you just can't quite place it. And in a moment, the tentacle withdraws back into the water, splashing. There's definitely something moving in the dark water below. Maddox, you're on your back. Why, it just cut you free. There's something splashing and moving in that dark water.
Ooh, I want to see what that is. I'm going into the water.
A mass of dozens of tentacles writhing together.
Oh, that's just all arms. My head comes up above the water. It's just all arms. Nothing but arms. It's very frightening. Don't be scared. Kill it dead.
It is in the water. Do you have anything that you could do to the creature while it's in the water, or anything that you would want to do at this moment?
I mean, yeah, I want to.
There is also, delaying. You could wait for it to do something and respawn in kind. For example, that crazy-looking toy Tom gave you might be something to keep on hand to, cut a tentacle that might try and grab you.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I see that, but there's nothing out here. So I am going to, take my headphones and then put in some Iron Maiden and some theme music for our fight scene.
Well done.
So we can fight in style.
The thing, the massive tentacles, puts several of them up and pulls a lurching, rolling form. There seems to no head or eyes or any other discernible anatomy. That someone just took a bunch of tentacles and jammed them together like Play-Doh. Yes, I do know that color.
They are slimy.
This is a most ludicrous design.
It is quite strangely designed.
You're not ever supposed to see the whole thing, I think.
Ah,
Only pieces of it at a time. It adds to the terror. Oh, how well thought out! I say into the water.
Because you have not acted yet, you may act before the round ends. The Iron
So
Maiden
where's
it pulled itself out of the water. It's on the path now with you.
okay, and it doesn't have a head, it's
head
just
or
arms.
eyes, or it's like somebody took a bunch of tentacles and just connected them all together
To
at the
each
bases.
other.
Just added more and more until they couldn't add any more, and then thought that's good.
Yeah,
That's a monster.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
It shows a decided lack of creativity.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna, and just like try to split it in half, just like sashimi to
Give me a fighting roll using Maddox's fighting score, please.
We're gonna have some calamari. Fighting.
Mm-hmm. On Maddox's, she should be quite
Yeah,
adept at it.
yeah. Beat it by like 6, 7.
You swing with a lot of force, kind of forgetting that you're swinging a lightsaber. So when you hit the flesh, there is 0 resistance, and you overswing completely through, separating it into 2 burnt halves, and then halfway into the pathway before you actually stop your swing. The rock gave way just about as easily as the slimy squid flesh did.
There's not going to be much resistance with that, so be careful. There's no weight to it.
The halves are smoking and cauterized.
Yeah.
Made of light.
So do we have 2 livings?
They don't appear to be moving anymore after you struck it with the fancy toy that Tom gave you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to call its proper name.
Okay. Plasma sword.
Yes, plasma sword or laser sword are both
Laser
equally
sword.
acceptable terms.
Is it one of those doubles? Or is it just the one? I
They
never
didn't-
clarified.
They didn't have those in the 80s, so no.
Okay, good.
Predates those. And you can only get them in 2 colors.
What color's mine? Can I change colors?
Just it's blue or it's red, right? So whichever
Right.
you prefer.
Okay. Well, right now I want red.
it could be green.
I was gonna say,
It
I thought
could
they
be
were
green.
Sure. Could be.
The creature is clearly dead.
Okay.
On the
Or
same day you find
assuming
out
it
you
was
made
ever
out with
alive.
your sister.
With no mouth,
Yes.
no eyes. It's debatable whether it was ever a living creature.
Right.
The far end of this hall is still a staircase. It's the only other feature here. Ascending the staircase, you enter a great feast hall, though it has long been neglected. There's a large set of double doors built into the far wall, and statues of knights in armor flank both sides of it, maintaining a timeless and silent vigil. Cobwebs hang everywhere, empty plates with molded and ancient food, and of course, the dining occupants. Skeletal, their once fine clothing little more than rags. The skeletons are of all different sizes and types and dress, perhaps an extended family. At the head of the table, the patriarch sits, adorned in blackened mail pitted with rust. It slowly raises its head as you enter. It stands, extending a single bony finger at you. And as the jaw opens to speak, it pulls free from the skull and collapses to the floor, clattering loudly. Worms spill forth from the opening in the skull, and more still worm out from within the armor as the being strides towards you, leaving muddy boot prints and writhing worms in its wake.
Okay, question. This is creepy?
Yeah,
Yes,
but we've
exceedingly so.
been
Oh, right,
seeing this
good.
a lot now.
Good. Yeah.
There's been lots of bugs coming out of things lately.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that as well, and I was wondering if that was a normal feature of most amusement parks and or lands made of candy, or if that's something they're doing here specifically to get a reaction from you. In this case, unfavorable, I assume.
Yes, very.
Humans do not like worms coming out of mouths.
No.
That is accurate. Most would call it repellent.
Repellent. Not the worst idea.
Now, the king always goes last, so you may establish what other initiative order you wish to do your actions in, but it will always go last. So it is moving very slowly, but decidedly towards you.
Okay.
This thing, whatever it is.
The worm skeleton. Got it.
Are any of the others animated?
They have not moved. Only he did. And immediately upon you enter. Just
I want to look at it through the
vaguely
sword.
recall it happening in the game.
I think this is actually another beat from the game.
The video game.
The video game, yes.
I see.
He seems to be matching it as closely as he can.
Why?
Pure conjecture, but as you said earlier, not that creative.
You seem to recall from the game that if this boss reached you, it would grab you and strangle you and you died and lost the game.
Ah! So we just need to stay away from this thing, and we should be alright. This is more of an escape rather than a combat scenario.
Okay.
It is still slowly striding toward you.
How does anyone not escape it? It moves so very slow.
Is there
Anything else I can remember about the mechanics of the game?
It's so hazy. You know there's something. You just forgotten it. It's been so long since you played it.
Is there's those other skeletons around us and they're all wearing things?
They're all like in what was once fine clothes, but now it's just rags and.
Do we
They're
need
all
to
still
put these
sitting.
on? Do we need to put them on and like be one of them? I mean, if this is all about playing pretend in games and stuff, like let's play dress up. I don't know. We're not supposed to fight him, you said?
Just stay away from him
Okay.
and get to the other end of the hall.
Is there okay? Is there a door at the other end
There's a
of the
set
hall?
of double doors at the end of the hall.
Okay.
Really large.
So I'm gonna.
In a
just...
2D game, he would be impossible to get around. But we're in 3 dimensions.
Tom has a very valid point.
Ceiling?
You could just go around him.
Yeah.
He doesn't take up the whole room in this game.
He just goes straight forward.
Other side of the table then.
Okay.
It is actually rather easy to move around him, but he's still very much decidedly trying to pursue you. It's like when you were a little kid, just being that much faster than the other kids. You could do this all day, and there's just no way he can catch you.
I only ask one thing, that Wyatt uses his hero voice during the #CoolRules. You don't actually have to, but I would be so happy.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Getting the double doors behind him, there doesn't seem to be any way to open them. No handles, there's no levers or mechanisms. Just sitting there. It's closed.
So there's a key. Is there a keyhole?
Not even a keyhole. They're just massive doors.
Are
That's
there
it.
little cracks underneath where I could slip my finger and like open it towards me from the ground?
You could give it a shot.
Okay, I'm going to.
You roll against your body score. On Maddox's sheet.
Yeah, beat it by 2.
12-year-old Lizzie crouches down and with the strength that she should not possibly possess, begins moving this door that is taller than a car is long. Grunting, she pulls slowly out.
Well, if I would have known that you could do that, Lizzie, I would not have given you the sword that can cut through anything.
Okay, well, I
You
just
moved it about 4 inches.
saving
That
it.
thing's getting closer.
That was awesome.
Impressive, but I do like his idea of cutting a hole through so we can not be caught by this slowly lumbering beast.
Okay, well, because you have a giant frame right now, can you go up to the door like one of those cartoon characters and all those will trace a manhole in it?
I believe that only works if you run at it at top speed.
Ah, dang it. Okay.
Have
So-
you tried that?
I'm not the fast one. We lost our fast one. We lost our meat. So just a tiny hole so we can creep through, and not the skeleton guy?
Just a hole big enough so we can get through.
Okay, just small enough. So it's...
You start carving through, it's getting closer
Oh, weird.
and closer.
I'm sorry, I just pictured if Andy or Helen would have here, we would have just heard 3 sex jokes, one right after the other.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
true.
the cleanest episode of Project Metaverse ever.
We could fix that. I just try to refrain. Okay,
You're carving
fine.
a hole in the door, and it's just like those movies with those road guys that jump around that I'm not going to say the names of again. Using their plasma swords and their
You know, the Inquisition from History of the World Part 1.
magic that's
What
named
a
something
shit.
else. Because, space wizards.
Space wizard.
It's getting closer and closer as she's cutting in. You got the hole open. Only one of you is going to get through before that thing gets to you.
Go ahead. I got this sword. I'll cut him in half.
I would suggest running away.
Okay, then I'm running through the hole.
All right, you jump through the hole. Wyatt, you're not going to be able to get through. What do you want to do? It'll catch you if you try and get through the hole in time.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk away from it. I'm still super faster than it.
Oh yeah, walking speed is faster than it.
So I will just
Lead it around
You
the
lead it around the table.
Yep.
It's- You watch Wyatt lead it in a nice lap around the table. It doesn't seem to understand the basic concept of if it could just stand in front of the hole and stop him. Totally lost on it. It just immediately turns once you've left and follows him around like a lost puppy.
No, it's video game stupid.
Okay.
That's definitely to our advantage.
Okay.
By the way, I feel like I should have a combat feline.
I'm not saying that can't happen.
Not necessary, just spitballing.
We'll see what we get.
All right.
Shall we? We will see what
You
we
climb
get.
through the hole after Maddox. Inside is some form of torture chamber. Cages hang from the ceiling. There's a rack on one wall. An Iron Maiden, the real kind, not the kind in your tape player.
Oh, dang.
A table with restraints and various torture implements. There's old blood stains that darken the floors and surfaces here, and the odor of death permeates the air. The shadows in this place just seem darker.
We seem to be in the secret room of a middle-aged white woman.
Ah, yes. Karen.
A long hallway trails into the darkness here, and from beyond it you hear a faint crying and whimpering.
Okay, well, let's head towards it.
You follow the dark hallway, which ends in a large room. There's a pit for its center. Within that pit, thousands of snakes hiss and slither atop each other, forming a disturbing mass. Hanging over the pit, bound and gagged, is a young boy. He's dressed in all-stars, a jean vest, Empire Strikes Back t-shirt on, red headband. Looks to be about 12. The rope holding him is secured through a pulley to the wall, where a single candle burns underneath this fraying rope, and it looks like it's just about to snap.
Catch him.
Yep.
You rush to catch him, so give me an athletics roll, Wyatt. Uh-huh.
Not something I have.
Psych! Going. 12.
You're like, I'll say.
I
The
feel
rope
strong.
snaps, and in 2 steps, you're in the air, and you hit him like a linebacker across the waist. And the two of you hit the far side of the pit, your toes catching, almost falling in, and sliding and rolling on the surface of the floor. You've got the tied up boy in your arms. He looks very, very surprised and also somewhat terrified. His eyes are very, very focused on that pit still.
What's your name?
He has a gag through his mouth, tied up.
Great. I take my switchblade and I free his mouth first.
Oh, that was awesome!
Yes, she's amazing.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name's Mikey.
My name's Tom. Can you hear me?
Oh, how did...
Mikey, do either of these objects mean anything?
I take my bag and I pull out the tiny Yoda that I found.
You found it!
Don't give it to him yet.
My Yoda! Thank you so much!
Wait,
You were here with others. Do you know
Yeah,
where they are?
John and Sarah!
yeah.
I don't remember. We took the train to the candy town. That's the last thing I remember. And then I was here with the snakes. And it keeps happening. I fall into the pit of snakes, and right when I hit the snakes, I'm hanging over them again.
Ask him if he likes snakes.
I'm hanging over them again every time.
Would you say that snakes are a particular phobia?
I hate snakes, man!
How did you get here? How did you get to Toyland, this candy
We
train?
woke up here. We were in a parking lot.
With a carnival and carnival
Very much
food.
the same
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, that's how we got here too.
I hope you didn't eat the elephant ears.
'Cause I did.
Jonathan did. It was pretty gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I could attest.
Where is Jonathan? Where is Jonathan?
I believe
no,
we actually
Jonathan's
set
gone.
Jonathan free.
Jonathan is gone now. We saw him in the castle. And we gave him his quill.
You got John?
Yeah.
He's safe?
I think so.
Have you seen Sarah?
No.
Not yet. She's who we need to find now.
Okay. Can we get out of here? These snakes are really scary.
Would you say you like snakes least of all?
What's...
We encountered situations
You
that
hear
were...
something coming from the torture chamber and hallway behind you.
Wait, what do you mean?
Quite loud.
For instance, Bobby is not a fan of heights.
And he was put in situations where he had to face heights more than one time?
Yes, it was vexing.
What doesn't Lizzie like?
I'm afraid to say it out loud because I don't want to see it.
Okay.
But
Would you like to write it down or draw a picture of it?
Yes. Okay.
One word. One word.
Rolling with the homies?
You know you're
And yes.
You know you're mostly that, right?
I know, but it's different. It's not just this. It's this and this and
Ah,
this and the
right.
that. I don't do that.
Doing dances from the 50s and 60s, I understand.
So hopefully that will never come up. Dancing.
As I said,
Oh,
you
but
had a
it
loud noise.
But it most certainly will. He knows that. Yeah, that's what he knows. That's what he knows. That's the only thing he knows.
Is what scares us.
What was that?
I don't know, but it's coming from Karen's room.
From back the way you came, in the hallway, the head of a massive snake comes into view, the size of a car. The head is a pale white, the yellow fangs dripping something green and viscous from it. The rest of the body is pitch black, and the eyes dark like oblivion.
He's a frightening giant thing.
Mikey screams in terror and runs to the far corner.
Stop him.
Coward. As he does so, the snake seems to get bigger.
Ha! Ha ha ha! Ha!
Mikey, I understand this has been a very bad day, to put it mildly. But I really need you to focus and not to be afraid of that snake.
He's a bit afraid of you too, because you look like a tiny freakish bodybuilder.
Trust me, this isn't a choice. The sword has thrust certain conditions upon me.
That would have been another Andy joke.
Yeah, no, I'm just leaving room for them to say things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thrust.
Thrusting. Verbs.
Give him his toy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mikey runs into the corner and I'm just like, hey, you're good. You're going to be safe. Here.
You hand him the Yoda figure, and like what you've seen before, slowly gets less and less visible, and then just fades away. It's gone. As he does so, the snake seems to diminish substantially. Its head's no longer the size of a car, more like a motorcycle.
Yep. I attacked the snake.
We're going to start a new combat, so I want new initiative rolls, and I want to start this combat with that lovely rule of cool. They want to see you be a Jedi, so I want to see you be a Jedi too. And what better thing to be a Jedi on than a snake that's at least 100 feet long?
Right. Got it.
I mean, unless a man measured it, then it's really only like 40 feet.
35 tops.
Ah, the Irish factor.
We call that Irish twinkle.
So what do we have, ladies and gentlemen?
Why is it always in your eye?
There, now you're caught up on all the perverted jokes.
Yeah, we got that out.
Maddox, what?
Somebody had to do it.
20.
20 for Maddox?
30.
30 for Wyatt. Alright, now, as we're doing a rule of cool for our combat beginning, that means that Maddox is going to have to tell us what she plans to do first.
Okay.
And remember, chat wants you to be a Jedi.
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna climb on top of that cage. I'm gonna climb on top of this cage that the snake pit was on, so I'm on the roof of it, and then I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna just like boom, like put the plasma sword right in the middle of the noggin, so it kind of like, and then I'm gonna pull it forward so it splits his face and his snake tongue in half. And then I'm gonna remove its tooth and wear it as a necklace.
Okay. What?
I am going to cry out, "Come forth, my faithful combat kitten! From your non-threatening, non-licensed source."
Oh, I don't know, he-boy.
Yes! Yes!
Ah, let's rip his fucking head off.
Well met! I leap onto his back, and we charge the snake. I am trying to strike him down at the front and score him all the way through the 35 or 40 foot length of him. Ho!
Alright. And
He-boy.
Tom, what
He's
would
a
you like to do for the
weird-looking
rule of cool?
12-year-old.
Oh. I can do something in the rule of cool, you say?
Absolutely, Tom.
Wonderful. Huh. I want to do something very cool. So, there is a big snake that he is cutting with a sword. And you are also cutting with a sword. And there is a pit with other snakes in it. Excellent. I would like to open one of my loot boxes.
Excellent.
My giant Tom loot boxes.
Excellent.
And I'm pretty sure I've got one with, you know, a large 150 to 500 gallon vat of, say, hydrochloric acid.
Absolutely.
I would like to dump that in the pit.
500 gallons of hydrochloric acid in the pit. All
Yes.
right. Well, I'm sorry we don't have more for you to vote on, guys, but we do have 3 options. We have hydrochloric acid in a pit, a laser sword through the head, and a trophy. And split right down the middle on a, I don't want to say that name, so I'm going to go with fighting kitten charge.
Fighting
Yes.
feline.
War kitten.
War
Kitten.
kitten.
I like combat kitten cavalry strike. Very well played there. Very well done. Give them just a moment to vote, guys. While while they're voting, is anybody as excited as I am about DFA?
Oh my god, I'm losing my mind.
DFA.
That's gonna be a ton of fun.
I bet you Jess has never seen it. It's giant stompy robots.
That sounds awesome to me.
Yeah, no, you would love it.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it is right up your alley.
It's the OK Corral with.
Yeah, everybody plays like ace pilots, and you have giant robots that you run around and fight in.
All right, we have the winner, Wyatt, with the Combat Kitten Cavalry Strike.
Yes!
Huzzah!
It was a close race.
Here we
So
go, hey boy!
we're going to start. This is the table. Tom makes a 500-gallon vat of hydrochloric acid appear, and because Tom does not roll dice, dumps said 500-gallon vat of acid.
Oops, it worked out exactly as I intended, as I tactically intended. Suck it.
Meanwhile, Maddox, I want you to give me an athletics check for your leaping. This is at a -5 because of the whole rule of cool thing.
Athletics. Okay, so that's a 6.
At a -5, that's still going to be an 11. That's still going to succeed.
Yeah.
For your athletics. So then give me a fighting roll for using that lightsaber. Now, this fighting roll is going to be also a -5.
Yes.
And for anyone else, it would be a -4 in addition to that for the multi-action thing. But Maddox has multiple attacks and defenses because she is a trained fighter.
Yes, and that was an 8.
Also successful. So while you leap through the air and plant your laser sword into the skull, He-Man, who's not He-Man, because we would never, ever steal someone else's licensed
We
property.
are calling him they person.
I
They
like this.
person!
They person, a much better hero, actually. They person.
Right?
I would watch that show. They person on the. I love this the cavalry, the combat kitten cavalry charge. His blade comes through and it does this horrible mouth open hissing as your not light sword strikes it in the head. And the mouth opens at the perfect angle that the sword slides in right in between the cheeks and all the way back here. And yeah, really, this snake was exaggerating. It's more like 40 feet than 100 feet. Mm-hmm.
Told you.
They tend to exaggerate.
We know how that goes.
Now we know the snake wasn't Irish.
And as you split it open, you hear the most horrid screech. And instead of blood or what other substance you would think that spills out, it comes out as masses of cut, dingy clothing, and at one point, a ripped and torn top hat. And then you're at the rear of the snake. Well, the two halves of the snake. You've extracted your tooth, and the smell of melted serpents in the pit is pretty terrible.
You should throw the big one in too. We can make soup.
I'm not eating that.
Well, neither am I.
What kind of snake was it?
You're not really sure.
I believe giant pretend cobra python.
Now that
constrictor?
the mouth is like totally apart, do I see if it has venom glands?
They were just kind of coated in the screens. It's sticky. It's really sticky. It's exactly like that stuff that spider was spitting back off of the roller coaster frame.
Yeah.
Exactly like it.
Can I take a vial of that?
If you had a vial, you might be able
I
to.
would, but could I shove some in my Walkman?
How much would you like a vial?
I mean, that stuff seems like it could be in handy.
Very well. Here is a belt full of vials.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna.
You can easily fill a half dozen vials.
Okay,
With
of the green,
yeah,
of the
green sticky stuff.
Okay, so I got the 6.
I made it green on purpose.
Yes.
Icky.
It is rather unpleasant.
Is
The
it
slurry
top
of snakes in the pit is really, really horribly smelling. The chemical reaction from the hydrochloric acid is making the air quite intense in this enclosed chamber.
Do I see the top hat?
Oh yeah, very much so. It's ripped up. Pretty bad.
I'm taking that too.
All right, you've got
Okay.
yourself a ripped and tattered top hat.
Let's put it on a snowman.
Because that always works out.
want to make a snowman?
There must have been some magic in that tattered, snake-eaten cat.
The castle shakes, and a piece of masonry falls from the wall, and then from the ceiling.
Okay, so let's go back towards the snake where the snake came from. Is that the only?
Back where you
Exit?
came from seems to be the only way
Out
out.
the front.
Okay.
And run. I have a feeling now that Mikey has been saved that this place won't hold up as it was part of his sphere.
Okay. We're going out.
Running back through to the torture chamber, and then climbing through past it.
Actually, you're riding on a cat.
Yes.
And you're
Proudly.
riding a cat very proudly. Whole chunks of masonry and the roof itself falling. The knight statues in the great hall collapse. One of them crushes that skeletal creature. Worms scatter everywhere. It's really gross. Just as you reach the castle's mouth, the entire mountainside begins to give way, and you're swept up into a giant mudslide. Rocks battering you, spinning end over end. Give me an athletics check if you have it, or a body check if you do not.
Ooh.
Fail it, take 10 damage.
No, I didn't. You said athletics, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm good. Beat it by 6.
Flipping end over end, the world spins, and you crash to the ground.
Did you lose 10?
1,000 feet
I lost
down.
10.
I block it.
10 is not taken.
10 is not taken.
Take it from your 60.
Done.
Thank you, Tom.
Don't thank me. Thank Patreon.
Thank you,
Don't know
Chad.
why I said that.
Pulling yourself to your feet, the sword's gone. You're not muscular anymore. And worse, Bobby's rifle's gone.
Bobby's what?
Bobby's
Oh,
rifle is gone.
shit.
A short distance away, you see Lizzie getting up. She also seems like she's looking for something. Your laser sword, it's gone.
Damn! God, that thing was cool!
And even worse, your Walkman is missing.
No.
You feel almost like you're missing a piece of yourself.
No.
See what you have done there.
In the distance, Tom, you can feel your loot box items. Someone took them.
Dear Tom, here is a present that you can open. Sorry, the other one was physical. It was the best we could do. Hashtag Tomba.
Thank you,
you,
chat.
Chad.
Thank you.
Do you know where our things went?
Yeah, do you know where they went?
Oh, they're that way.
In the distance, you see
My things
the
is that.
swamp and where you saw previously when you were on the Cape Tower, like some form of decrepit manor house was there. But from your low vantage point, it now is just a swamp stretching out before you.
They're that way now.
Yes. We're not unarmed, though. This came for you? It's a foil. Beautifully made, like think Indigo Montoya, except etched into the side of the blade is the word Flay's Children in beautiful cursive writing.
It is a fine sword. It unfortunately doesn't give you any form of great magical powers like that previous one gave.
But you know how to use it.
Oh, Tom.
Let's see what we need first. That was already here.
Okay.
We have one more box.
Okay.
Also
enough.
keeping in mind that while Wyatt is not defenseless, Maddox without weapons is more dangerous than most people are with weapons.
Absolutely. I hear that. I got a slingshot, I'm good. But that sword just looks gorgeous, so I just,
It is
little jelly right now,
very
but
Well, it does expand my options from throat punch, so
Yes, now you can throat punch from further away.
yes.
I need my tape deck. Let's go.
You trudge off, headed towards the swamp. It is quite a walk.
Yes. It does seem like quite a walk, and all of this mud. You're going to get very dirty and loud.
Squishy, like a boot in the mud.
What travels swamps well?
Not Atreyu.
Yes,
Damn.
Artax is right out. What? Too soon? Fan boat?
Fan boat.
Fan boat. Fan boat.
Tom seemingly pulls a fan boat from a loot box. It should not come out of a loot box, but somehow it does. It's almost cartoon-like the way he just...
Whoever's driving has to wear the trucker cap.
Do you want to drive?
I know you can't see it, but that's because it is camouflage.
It would be.
It's a little big for Bobby, but it still fits. The fan boat is quite loud when you fire it up. It crosses the distance towards the swamp very quickly. And much cleaner and less boggier.
Also, no gators. There would inevitably have been gators.
Probably. Thanks.
Inevitably, there would have been gators. He's probably right.
I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It practically begs for them.
True.
The bog is not a pleasant place. The odor is atrocious. Bubbles and sinister movements and sound come from the small pools that dot the place. Trees overgrow most of it as you get close to it, and there's a small winding path through the trees and pools. Along that path there are little green glowing lamps marking the way. It's not wide enough for the fan boat.
Looks
Okay.
like we'll have to leave this here.
Yeah.
Very well. We'll go on foot. Or rather, you will. Have fun walking, meat!
The air is thick and humid, and the thick mist carries a bone-chilling cold in it. You're walking for probably 10, 20 minutes and taking the lead. Bobby he needs to sit down and rest. He's so tired. You take a moment, just a second, just stop for a second. You look back over your shoulder and Bobby's sitting on a partially submerged stump, slowly nodding off to sleep.
Hey.
Right over there, you start to shake him,
This is not nap time.
and his head plummets back down again. As you shake him a second time, vines grab your ankles and yank you into the pool. Water comes over your head, surrounded by it, twisting through the thick darkness. Bobby wakes up to a splashing noise.
Pulled into the water. Also, keep in mind she's afraid of water. You should save her. No fluster, just action. Move now. Chop, chop.
Yeah, chop chop. Any of the vines that I can see.
You don't see she's gone in the water.
Diving in after.
Good
Bobby
boy.
leaps into the water. You've got your fencing for there, and it's so dark down here you can't see a thing. Pushing through. Maddox, you're struggling. These vines are creeping up your legs.
Are the vines evil?
The vines are evil.
The sword glows.
Any better visibility?
Much better. Something is struggling, kicking up a lot of mud. It's hard to tell what part is Lizzie and what part is the vines. You might have to cut blind.
I'm going to try and cut as low down to the bottom as possible to try and get the vines that are coming up from down below. Beat it by 5.
You cut away, hitting something solid that doesn't feel like you're cutting into flesh at the very least. Raises your confidence. You can feel one of the vines and then another give way. Pulling hard, kicking. Give me an athletics check.
9.
Got
You
it.
fight your way, your mouth breaks the surface, and you're able to get in another mouthful of air before it pulls you back under. Give me another fighting check.
Backing away. Yep. Beat it by 2.
Hacking away more, you grab hold of something. Definitely a wrist. You can feel the leather of the jacket and pulling. You think you've gotten free.
Go pilots!
Two of you break the surface. You can feel your avatar inside of you. The mind of Lizzie's just gone. She is absolutely terror-stricken. Bobby couldn't be prouder of himself. You struggle to shore, chilled to the bone, covered in mud and probably worse. Exhaustion sweeps you. Darkness creeps in, and you close your eyes, falling into sleep. Wake up!
Not the time.
It's dark when you wake up. The only light an eerie green from the lamps hanging along the path. Creatures and insects fill the night air with their song, and the fog is almost dense enough to touch. Tom is standing over you, repeatedly saying, "Wake up! Wake up!"
Wake up! Wake up!
Oh.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
How long?
Hours.
Many hours. You are very lazy.
Lazy, I don't think it's us.
Lizzie and Bobby are to the point of exhaustion. They're starving, dehydrated, probably hypothermia, battered, bruised, and bloody. They have been pushed to their absolute limits as human beings, beyond what any child should ever have to experience.
Your survival is very important. We have to get out of here and go where we're supposed to be. For that, I understand that your bodies are very tired. But that's just not going to be acceptable today.
Understood. Given our limitations, any chance you could loot box us up some food? Because it's been a while and Bobby ain't doing so good.
You think you are hungry?
Yes.
You're not. You're not hungry. You're frightened nearly to death. It's taking a toll on you physically because of what this place is.
Okay,
You need to not be scared.
that makes as much sense as anything does.
You need
around
to
here.
focus, and you need to take 2 of these. Bottle of pills.
What is this?
This is just a standard, slightly high dose of Adderall.
Okay, I'm down.
It'll wake you right up, give you a feeling of pep, vim, verve, and you'll feel slightly invincible.
I will take a minute and point out that neither Zoe nor the Metaverse actors or staff, nor the fictional character Tom, believe in administering unprescribed medication to children.
But Ritterall.
I just want to be perfectly clear. I am not endorsing this in any way, shape, or form.
And then wash it down with this.
I'm not even gonna ask.
It's the potion from Big Trouble in Little China. I watched that last week. Wonderful film.
Delightfully subversive, especially for the time.
You suddenly have a very positive feeling about this.
Okay. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Yeah, I feel great.
I feel great, actually. Let's go.
All right then. Let's go fight some evil.
You continue down the green lit path. Bobby, you see the first one. A little girl slipping beneath the dark waters. Help me, Bobby, help me! A short while later, you see the next. His head and shoulders scarcely above the mire. You see Max screaming out, "Maddie! Where are you, Maddie? Help me! Maddie!" as he sinks under the darkness. Bobby, you see John Maxwell in uniform. Medals on his chest. Time to be a good soldier, Bobby. Come along now. And he starts striding off into the darkness.
Following the lights.
Clearly they're traumatized. Tom, you feel a presence next to you.
Hello.
Let's make a deal.
Oh, I am here to serve.
I'll let you have one.
One what?
You take one of them and go. Leave the others for me.
One of what?
One of your toys.
Oh, I told them they were not allowed to carry toys. You can corrupt those two easily. With your little games.
I don't think you understand. They're yours, right? Those things.
The pilots? They do not belong to me, but they are mine to watch over, protect, and give tactical advice to.
So, you take one and go.
Well, what happens to the other?
I've got to eat.
Oh, I'm afraid you will find them an unwilling meal at this point. Little fellow, I do like your hat. We'll take it from you when we're done.
Once I'm through stripping the flesh from their bones, I will deal with you. Children, drowned, maimed, and worse, rise from the mire around you. Pieces of their flesh hang from their face, empty eye sockets. Like zombies from an old movie, they start shuffling towards you from all sides of the path.
Glowing?
Very much so.
It seemed cool when I thought of it. Now it really just points out where you are in the dark. Should have thought that through better.
They are closing in on the path. Like classic zombies from a movie. Everything that you had ever thought that they would be.
Maddox, Wyatt, did you ever see Shaun of the Dead?
Yes.
What did you think of that film?
I rather enjoyed it.
It was very funny in very many areas. Yes?
Yes.
Did you see it?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Zombies aren't scary. They're played out.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I really think once Walking Dead started, they kind of established a little too on the head the zombies aren't really the monsters are each other thing.
Right.
The zombies
We are the
weren't-
monsters here.
Yeah, the zombies aren't even the thing to be afraid of in that.
No. They're just shambling Romero ripoffs.
Which was actually a really interesting treatise on the destructive tendencies of capitalism. And now
Well, let's finish this, shall we? Tom, use these well. And I hope you have boosted abilities too. #LOOT boxes ×4.
Thank you,
Chat.
Wow,
chat.
thank you. As
Very
they go
nice.
back and
Well,
forth
they're-
about
the
zombies.
number of the children just seems to be less
I was
and
gonna
less
say, I
while they're
wanted to look
continuing their
around.
conversation.
yeah, truly an idea that peaked probably before the 80s even.
Oh, well before.
And I mean now it's really just a sad parody of itself holding on.
And there's nothing scary about dying. It's
They made
totally
a movie
natural,
where they treated
right?
the zombie like a pet.
That's right. Well, and of Shaun of the Dead too.
Yes.
The zombie's a pet?
Yes. Wouldn't that be funny? Haha, zombies. Haha. My laugh is incredibly fake sounding because it's not a real laugh.
That is so funny. That's a great idea.
Yes. Like a zombie dog. Or a...
We are having fun.
But a good boy zombie dog.
Yes. That is ironic humor, yes?
We could teach it to do zombie dog tricks.
Zombie dog tricks. Like sit still. And wait.
Oh, I love weight.
How about stay?
Or go fetch.
I have this slingshot here and these
Yes,
marbles.
while we continue this discussion about zombies, have you ever seen the movie Spaceballs?
Indeed.
They have several products. One of those products is in this loot box right here and would probably help us in our endeavor with these fewer zombies than there were before. That plan works. That's good.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
distinctly fewer.
I should warn you. The kids love this one.
I was going to say, it's probably not the brand cereal. Would you care to do the honors?
Ah, yes. Maddox. Spaceballs. The flamethrower.
The flamethrower.
Ah, the kids
Awesome.
love it.
The
kids
kids
love
love
this
it.
one.
The kids love this one. Awesome.
Sapphire Industries zombies for up-and-coming necromancers everywhere. Hashtag hack attack, hashtag charity.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, Chat.
you.
Thank you.
Ah, Sapphire Industries. Which is totally real.
So in this Spaceballs movie,
No. While we're talking,
yes.
shoot them with the flamethrower.
Really? But they're disappearing as you guys are talking. Do
There'll
we
be
really
some
need to
left. I
hurry?
mean, we can really only do so much disparaging of a genre that is so well beloved by so many people around the world.
Okay.
It's a thing of beauty.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And with all of the water and humidity, you're in no danger of starting a swamp or brush fire.
No, I didn't think I was.
And much like classical cinema zombies, as these child zombies are set afire, they don't react to the flames and then burn and slowly just sink down into the mire.
Wait,
Completely
did that
oblivious
horrify you as well?
to their fate.
Those were not real children.
How do you know? How do you know what's real and what's not?
Maddox, I know.
Okay.
He seems very confident.
Yeah. Okay. This place has got me confused.
This place is an elaborate charade designed to scare children. You are in the body of a child and therefore frightened.
Absolutely. So, did we see this conversation earlier?
No.
You were off talking.
Yes, I was speaking to the man in the hat.
You saw him, or he reached out to you.
Well, no, you spoke to me.
He spoke to you. What did he say?
He said he was going to rend the flesh from your bones,
Ah, lovely.
and then he would deal with me. And I told him that I would take his hat once we had finished with him. I do
Nice
like
touch.
his hat.
I have
And
a
it's seeing some cold-blooded shit to say to a motherfucker before you off him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well put, Tom.
Absolutely.
And to be clear, that's a man who definitely needs it.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Have you noticed that every time we harm him, he runs?
Yes.
And every time we face him, we harm him now?
Do we Yes.
So,
I also noticed that when Andy pulled off his arm, he just grew another one back. Is this guy even defeatable? Or is it a matter of freeing everyone that needs to be free?
he just needs to be taxed.
Okay.
We must keep him very, very busy. He cannot concentrate on all things at once.
That's true. Okay.
So, when we go, and we meet him again, we hit him from opposite sides with different effects. And by we, I mean you.
Yes.
And hopefully, the problem will take care of itself from there.
Okay. Okay. Did you see where he went?
I did not see,
Okay.
but our things
You
are
heard.
that way.
Got it.
He can clearly tell precisely where your things are. Like a compass.
Let's carry on that direction then.
Yep.
Good.
Hopefully we'll find Sarah in that way.
You follow the path for quite
Between
some
this
ways.
pep talk and the fact that you're both high on narcotics now,
I have a
I
good
must say-
feeling about this.
It's pretty delightful.
It
Yeah.
is.
I have an excellent feeling about this. Or rather, an excellent impression about this.
continue to follow the path through the swamp. At one point, crossing a rope bridge over a pond. It looks like the perfect place where perhaps childlike zombies might have ambushed you if they still existed.
Yes.
Played out.
As you clear the pond, the path straightens and opens into land that, though overgrown, was obviously once well cared for. There's an old decrepit manor house on the grounds, its white walls long ago stained and covered in overgrowth. It was grand once, with great columns along the front and a wraparound balcony along the second floor. A pair of large chimneys betray the presence of fireplaces, though no smoke comes forth. The grounds are overgrown with thorn bushes and tall grass. The ground is soft and marsh-like. There's nothing stirring here. No sounds, no fogs, no cold. Just a dim light that seems to come from high above. Beyond the table, in the distance, there's a strange horizon. It's a mixture of browns and grays. It's blurry to you. Somehow familiar, yet somehow very, very foreign. There's a faint smell of must, oil, gasoline, grease, and mildew. In the great beyond, among the strange horizon and dim lights, something moves, spreading a sinister shadow. From within the house, you hear a little girl's voice call for help.
Sounds like a girl.
And we are here to help her, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
The French door entryway of the house hangs open, one door barely on the hinges. Within the foyer, an ornate set of stairs goes up to the second floor, along with openings into other rooms on this main floor. Ahead of you, you can see a dining room. The table's broken, chairs scattered about.
In terms of layout, any other...
There's openings into a room on both sides. The dining room, the head, is the one you can see in, and then like the beautiful both sides stairways going up into an upper floor. It was clearly at one point a fine, fine house that is, well, gone to shit.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything on the table?
You go into the dining room?
Oh, I thought the table was there.
You can see into the dining room. It's
Oh,
a collapsed table.
Yeah, I'll go there. Yeah.
There's a table, it's broken, there's chairs scattered about. It looks like somebody basically threw a temper tantrum and smashed everything in here.
Okay.
But a long, long time ago. There's another doorway leading out of this room besides the one you came in. The door is closed.
So are we searching this clearly haunted house then?
I think so, to find her, the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah. Going in the door.
You open the door. Leads to a kitchen. This kitchen contains an old fridge, numerous empty cupboards that hang open or the door's completely gone. There's broken plates, glasses, and the like all over the room. Again, it looks as though someone threw a very, very, very large temper tantrum in here and thought that breaking things was the way to go about it. A set of stairs descends down on the right side of this room.
Head on up.
Yep.
Down.
Head on down.
The stairs go down onto a landing. Where the landing is, there is a door. It's wedged shut and swollen.
Are basements?
Water is dripping from the top of it.
Are basements scarier than attics?
I would vote yes.
Given the water dripping from the top of it, I would say that's probably
I
so.
see. What an interesting game.
Is your thought to try and go to the scariest place? As that...
Oh no, we're going the right way. No. It's here. And hopefully the girl too.
You can feel the missing items almost directly above your head.
There they are. Oh, sorry.
Just ceiling above us?
Yeah. But that would be the second floor right above you.
I'll go look.
Tom passes through. It's a bedroom. The Both items are just sitting on a bed. It's old. Hasn't been made up in quite some time. But it looks like it might have been a little girl's bedroom.
What's on the bed? Just
The sword and the not on laser sword. Just sitting. As though somebody just casually tossed them on the bed.
oh, he wanted to take those out of play. This room will be very dangerous. Back down. They're on a bed upstairs. It's a trap.
What is on a bed upstairs?
Your swords that I gave you earlier.
It's a trap?
Yes. Apparently he did not like you having them.
Okay.
Did you see either
I thought
Bobby's
they were
gun
sweet.
or her Walkman?
I did not. But I did not make those.
Right, I understand you can't sense those. Just trying to see if those were there as well.
Give me a mind roll.
Yes. Made it by 1.
You don't know why, but you know that that rifle is somewhere in this house. You just know it. You can feel it.
So this sounds weird, bear with me. I can feel that the rifle is somewhere in this house,
It's connected to Bobby. He brought it with him
which
from...
would make sense.
Are we sure that train is not still running?
What is in the room that we're in right now?
Well, you're on a landing that was seemingly going to a basement.
Yeah.
But the basement doors are
The doors
swollen
are
shut with water. It's puffed out, and there's like little streams of it dripping
Got
from
it.
the top.
So it looks like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is severely swollen shut.
So there's just water on the other side. You would think.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Definitely. There's water that way.
Okay. Well, we can't go in there, even if we wanted to. Like how?
Because of your inability to breathe underwater.
Yeah. Right.
That
Got kills.
would be it.
Tactical operations matrix.
Yes.
Quiet.
Neatly elucidated, Tom.
Head back into the entryway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from here, there are still openings to both sides, or to go upstairs.
Check the one on the right.
All right, to the right leads into a den. There's large couches and chairs ripped apart as though by vicious, huge claws. Bookshelves, once neat and organized, are thrown about. Their once fine contents shredded. A massive fireplace dominates the wall, and while no fire burns, there seems to be charred bones in the fireplace.
Do you have that sword?
No.
The shiny sword?
Oh,
I've still got my sword, yes.
The one that detects evil.
Yeah. But it's.
It hasn't stopped going since the swamp.
But it is reflective as well, or does it just?
Not particularly.
Okay.
What's the time on the watch?
Still going backwards. You are now at noon. It has made one complete cycle.
We were asleep a long time.
Jesus.
I said.
Okay. Well, I'd like to go to the fireplace and kind of like kick my foot around to see if there's anything.
Children's bones. Burnt.
Yeah.
Charred. And as you dig through, there just seems to be more underneath, and more, as though the fireplace bottom isn't the bottom at all. Just more bones, and more bones, and more bones.
It's disgusting. This guy's a real asshole.
Oh, yeah.
He is a clown.
What are some of the books?
Most of them are destroyed, but they're, like classic literature.
Okay.
Moby Dick, Alice in Wonderland. All very classic and very, very old style binding, not machine done.
Okay.
Or if it was machine done, very, very primitive era machine done. It is not modern book binding at all.
Let's go check the other room.
The girl is not in the basement.
No.
No, she wouldn't be screaming. We wouldn't hear her voice.
Once we have found her, we'll be able to come down here.
Okay.
This is a locked door that we cannot get past. We have to have all colors of keys to get through it.
Okay, well then we gotta go upstairs.
Yep, there's still one more room
Metaphorically.
on the bottom floor that you
Yeah.
have not
There's
explored.
what?
There's one more pathway in a room in the bottom floor that you have not gone into.
Oh, okay, well let's do
But
that
you can
first.
do either or.
No, let's
Upstairs.
do that first. We're already downstairs.
Opening the old door leads to a large, open, hardwood floored room. Slow music plays from a phonograph. The old style, the big horn coming out. Children, their bodies in various states of decay, from freshly dead to fully bleached skeletons, slowly twirl about, paired up, flawlessly performing waltzes. There's trails of rotted flesh, decaying organs, and worse on the floor in the patterns of their dances. And worms and maggots writhe about the feast, joined by roaches and other crawling scavengers.
This is scary, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Those are dead people dancing a waltz. Very well.
It's more the...
Children knowing a waltz, they should be doing something more modern. I 100% agree.
Not where I was going,
That
but...
Fortnite
yes.
dance is very popular right now. They should be doing that.
Yes, well, they
Do
better
you
not
know
be
the
doing...
Fortnite dance?
Yes, well, they better not be doing the Carlton-inspired one.
Do
We
they
wouldn't
do
wanna get
anything when
sued.
Tom yells at them?
Yeah, they have not stopped dancing.
They don't hear him?
Didn't seem to pay attention. They have not stopped dancing even when you open the door. None of your conversations.
I'm gonna go turn off the music.
You walk to the room. Kind of have to weave around them because they
Yeah.
don't pay any attention to you.
Right.
Getting closer and closer, and the record goes off. The dancers all stop. Half of them turn and look at you, the ones closest, and the other half turn and look at you. And screaming, they charge forward with lightning
Everybody
speed.
dance now!
Duh, duh,
Initiative.
duh, duh.
Oh, that's right. I don't have an initiative score.
You do not, Tom, unfortunately. The dance party has a 7.
23.
23 for Wyatt.
28.
28. Though most of them don't possess any form of vocal cord anymore from the decay, that does not stop them from letting out a blood-curdling shriek as they are most certainly hostile.
Yeah. And they're coming towards me?
Half of them seem to be headed directly towards you, so
Yeah, I turn the music back on.
you turn the music back on, and it just starts skipping.
Okay. Where's my Walkman? They want Iron Maiden is what they want. Okay. Great. So they're headed towards me. I will, what is next? So I'm next to the phonograph, right?
Oh yeah, and it's on a nice little table. There's a little
What-
stool next to it.
What else is near here? Is
For the
there
most part,
a
it's
bunch
just
of
empty.
records or?
Just the one that was on the player. And now it's just skipping over and over and over again.
Okay. And there's nothing
And the way the
else
tone
here?
sounds, it's
Yeah, it's laughing at me, of course. I get it. Because I messed with something. Wonderful. Okay. Well, they're the ones closest to me. Are they like skeletons? Do they have
half of
flesh,
the various
or, like-
states of decay, from completely bleached skeleton to fresh corpse.
Yeah, what's the one closest to me?
Fresh corpse.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, then I take my boot and I just kick him off.
Give me a fighting roll.
I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just
Now,
making more
also
space.
keep in mind that Maddox could make 2 attacks, because Maddox has 2 attacks and 2 defenses, so you don't have to limit yourself to 1. You
Cool.
could attack twice, without penalty. So you can roll twice with no penalties, as long as you're in Maddox and not.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a 14.
First one is you literally kick the head off of the corpsey, fleshy creature.
Oh, man.
It's not real, don't worry.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And while it does not collapse, it sort of slows down a little, as though it doesn't have the ability to try and pinpoint your location at this point.
Wonderful. So what I'm gonna do is kind of like get him into a dancing mode, and I'm gonna do this cool swing dancing move I learned where I flip around my back and then over my head, so hopefully it creates this bowling effect that takes out, a handful more.
Give me another fighting roll for your second attack.
Or a dancing roll. 13. Yep. Got it by 5.
It doesn't work precisely the way you intend. You get him over your shoulders, and you throw him forward, and you're still kind of hanging onto his arms, but the rest of his body moves forward and into another one of these dead children. This one a completely bleached skeleton that shatters like glass on the impact, scattering bones all over the place.
Okay.
The fingers, bones still twitching. And the
So I have 2 arms now?
and the hands are still moving.
I got 2 arms. Nice. Oh, jeez.
3 are down. Wyatt.
You know, Tom, you really are right. This isn't scary. It's just absurd. I mean, it's almost silly. What's the point? I will attack whichever one is coming closest to me. I just want to monologue as much as possible through this about how... I mean, what? So they have to dance forever? But dancing is fun.
Right, but only until you turn off the music and then they get ravenously hungry.
Whatever. Still, I just don't get it. Fighting Met.
Met, good enough. You step forward with the rapier that flays children. Amazingly enough, right through where there should be an eyeball on this skeletal being. And it just collapses. Not like the other that shattered or the wound. It just collapses, and as it hits, the bones almost melt. Very liquid-like.
It's him. It's all him.
The remaining ones continue forward. Only 3 are left coming at you, Maddox. There are 5 that will be coming at you, Wyatt. The 3 coming at you. They are slow and ponderous. And only 1 is able to successfully hit you. You can use one of your defenses, you have 2, to attempt to defend against said attack.
Okay. They just try and swing?
Yeah, they're just trying to grab hold of you and then bite you.
Yeah,
You killed
I
it.
beat it by half.
Not only do you stop it from biting you, but as the jaw comes down, you just kind of stiff arm them like you would to push somebody off of you, and the whole top of its head just tears off. So it's only the bottom jaw. Tries to bite you, but a bottom jaw
There's
can't really
nothing
successfully
it
do
might.
anything to you.
Yeah.
But it is a really, really gross feeling.
Yeah.
You know, pushing your forearm through someone's decaying head.
Yeah. That's a new one for me.
The others continue towards you. 3 of them try to pull you to the ground. They just can't seem to get a grip on you. They're too slow, and you're just too good of a fighter for them to get that. The reach of that sword, there's just no chance for them. Cutting us back to the top, we have Maddox at a 28 again.
Yeah.
Wait.
There's.
Wait.
I am spending the round looking around.
Excellent.
I'm trying to find their things while they're fighting. While they're unguarded. Or distracted by children.
Distracted by children.
You'd think you might be able to do something. A thought occurs to you. Maddox?
How many are near me?
Only 3, but there are 5 trying to get a hold of Wyatt, though he seems to be defending himself quite capably.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm like, hey, isn't this fun? This, like, new dance party we're having?
It's not as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think we should breakdance fight. Like, challenge them to a breakdance fighting. You know? So basically, what I'm going to do is I have my 2 arms.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to go and I'm going to spin into the center to do like a head spin, and I'm just gonna like slap the heads off with their own limbs, just like tick, 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 around. Yep.
Give me 2 fighting rolls at your normal score, and then 1 at -4.
Ooh, 14. That beat it, right? Yeah, 18. Okay, beat by 4.
Another 1 at your standard score, and then 1 at -4.
Ooh, gosh, beat it by 2 only. And then this one will be -4.
Yep, -4 to the left.
Oh, that's much better. I beat it by 9. So.
Spinning into them, you just pummel them. You never knew. Like, you've seen her, you never knew Maddox could fight like that. She should be in like a UFC or something. She just put a beating on these things like it was nothing. Fast. There are none remaining around you when you finish your twirling dance move, Maddox. It was not even worth breaking a sweat over.
Had I a cap, I would doff it.
Oh, thanks. You need
Good
some arms?
grief.
What? There are 5 of them left.
Okay, I'm gonna try and take out as many as I can of the remaining. I've only got 1.
So 1 win, but each successive one is a cumulative -4 penalty. So however many attacks you want to attempt, you may, but just keep adding that -4 in there.
Let's just go ahead and make 1 extra. Okay, got it.
All right.
By 2 and. I'm gonna use my +4.
Excellent. You use your +4.
Do another.
Thank you, Tom.
Successful?
Actually, yes.
3. Tell him to do another or no?
Take 1 more.
Okay.
No.
What if
How bad did you fail?
How bad did you fail by?
Missed it by 4.
I had my +9. You made it by 5.
All right.
Thank you,
I'll give
chat.
+9. Thank you, chat. And you made it by
you.
5. Only one of the child undead creatures remains. The ones that he stabs with that glowing sword melt on impact. They don't just fall down into twitching, writhing undead. They melt into a puddle.
Yeah. So I'm just to test this out to see if it's worth anything. I'm gonna take one of those vials that I gathered from the snake venom, and I'm gonna open it and splash it in the kid's face.
Give me whatever role you think would be relevant to shooting or fighting or whatever skill you think it would be relevant to throwing a vial of acid on a child's face.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
just
with
said that.
fighting. I'll go with fighting.
That's on the internet now.
Yeah, beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. You fling the stuff out, which it's really goopy and sticky, so it kind of has a hard time. And where it impacts, it much like his sword impacts it, but even more so, rather than melting into liquid, the spots in the image are just gone.
Okay.
Empty air. Nothing.
Okay.
And you are alone in a room with the repeating skipping record, which stops skipping at this point. Tom, you made a hole in the ceiling. Their weapons are sitting down by that basement door.
Neat. I would hand them to you if I could.
Yay! Thank you. Hey, just out of curiosity, can I do something?
Absolutely.
I learned about this at some of these houses. I'm gonna go to the record player and I want to play it backwards to see what it says, if anything.
It's a really, really eerie sounding track when you do that. You know, a backwards waltz,
Yeah.
which is probably more creepy than any horror movie music out there.
But also strangely sounds like the Four Non Blondes' What's Up.
Like I said, very disturbing and creepy.
Okay.
Very disturbing and creepy. You've explored the bottom floor. The basement door is still seemingly swollen shut, but you have retrieved the items. Bobby is not muscular again, but you have the sword. In fact, you have 2 swords at this point.
Yeah, double fisting. God, I'm jelly.
Rapier and
I got a plasma beam and a
Rapiers.
switchblade. I can double swing.
You know, the plasma sword is pretty frightening.
Oh, it is, but the whole idea of double fisting, I quite enjoy.
Again, so many jokes that I'm really, really glad that, you know, Andy James here or something.
Fisting?
I'm sorry. Here. I have 2.
Tom?
Of course, I am here to serve.
Watch where you're waving.
Sorry. I'm just trying to get a swing into things.
And
Nice.
please do not try to cut off one of your own limbs.
Oh, I don't think I could.
Oh, you could.
I'm like a kid at a candy shop.
Upstairs?
Upstairs.
At the
Upstairs.
top of the stairs, there are 2 hallways, and the upper floor wraps around the foyer. There are sets of doors above the main entryway that lead out onto the wraparound balcony, and then 2 hallways that extend out from the balcony.
Which room did you get the weapons from?
The one directly above the one we were in.
You hear a call for help, a girl's voice from the right.
Going that
In
way.
there.
Dashing into the right-hand hallway. As you dash into the hallway, you can see a door at the far end. It seems to pull away from you as you are walking, and then jogging, and then running, going further and further and further distant. Each of you roll a 12-sided die. Tell me who scores higher. From beyond it, you can hear the little girl's voice calling for help again and again.
Just one?
Just one. What do you got?
Oh shit! Sorry, I
Just
did
one
two.
dice.
6.
6.
Oh, 1.
1. Wyatt, you get to the door first. As your hand grips it, you're barely able to get on. Like the floor is like a treadmill almost beneath you. Right as you grab it, you like ripped through the door physically into darkness itself. Wyatt's gone. You're in the hallway. The door is right in front of you. The hallway is not long or extended anymore. It is though you walked 5 feet, and here you are. Wyatt, you tumble into darkness. You find yourself on a hard, damp floor. In the dark, you can hear a little girl crying. Wyatt's gone. There's nothing up here but Tom and you. You can feel Wyatt's presence in the basement.
Wyatt's presence in the basement?
You can feel his presence. He's there in the basement.
I'll go.
It's very dark. Tom has left you. You're in a hallway upstairs alone.
Where did Tom go?
Seemingly down.
Yeah, but
You went straight through the floor. You looked down and then just went straight through the floor.
what about the door? It's still there? It's locked?
Doesn't budge.
Can I?
Oh yeah. A bedroom lays beyond. In it, you see your very, very young self hiding under the bed, hanging on to Mac. You remember this night a long time ago, the lightning storm. He was terrified, crying. You held him all night.
Can I go up and talk to?
You step into the room. The lightning storm is terrible. Mac is crying. The power's gone out. You guys were left home alone again.
Okay, so
And I'm right there with you now.
you're here now?
Mm-hmm.
Maddox is standing in an empty room, just staring at the walls.
Why are you still here?
Why am I still here?
You faintly hear somebody talking to you, Maddox. But it's just poor Mac. I mean, it's Mac.
I turn on the lights in the room.
You're in an empty room. Tom is the only other occupant.
Why are we still here?
I don't know.
It's okay. What did you see?
Me.
Are you all right?
Yeah, no, it was a memory that I've had. It's a real memory. It's something that really happened to me.
And you're afraid of it?
No, I haven't told anyone that moment before, ever. I've never told anyone.
What about that memory, and I don't need to know what it is, makes you frightened or worried?
Because of Mac. Where's Mac?
He is safe.
Where?
Not here, and we can't get to him until we're out.
You promise me that I will go see him when we're out.
I promise you that he is safe right now. I don't know the future. I know that right now he is safe and in incredibly good hands. And that the only way for you to see him again is to get through here and kick that guy's ass.
Okay. I trust you.
I did my part.
Yeah.
Your brother is safe.
Okay. Okay.
Now I need you to do yours and kick the crap out of that guy.
Okay. Let's go.
You head
I
down
turn-
towards the basement.
Yeah.
And the door is normal, not swollen shut or waterlogged at all. Just a door.
Okay.
I will meet you inside. Wyatt needs me.
Yes.
You pass through the floor again. Why, you're feeling around in the dark. And then a little light filters in. Maddox, you open the door on the landing and can see down into a basement. Other than the light coming in from where you are, it's unlit. There's rotted beams under here, supporting the house above. Foul little creatures, rodents, the spiders, that sort of thing that you find under houses skitter away from the light and hide in the dark corners of the room. The light seeming to terrify them. In the darkness, you can hear a little girl crying. You see Wyatt. He's getting to his feet, brushing dust off of himself. He looks a little bit confused. Tom is standing near him. The only real light down here coming from that foil sword of his glowing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take out my Zippo and just light that also.
You have 2 lightsabers.
Oh.
And you light a Zippo.
Yeah, but this is real flame. This is real flame.
I like it.
You never were much for imagination.
Sarah?
The crying stops. Something separates from the very darkness in the corner of the room, and striking like lightning, you see him. One of his long arms grabs hold of Maddox, plucking her up in the air.
Why does he keep going after me?
You can't figure it out.
Nah, no, now I'm pissed.
Holding him for above the ground with an incredibly ridiculously long and extended arm. How about just one? Let me keep her. You can have the others. What do you say?
Well, look, I've had a little time to think about it now. And no.
Last chance.
That was just then, or this is right now?
That little brat! He hurls Maddox against one wall.
Loot box, bouncy house.
Into a bouncy house, man. His other arm stretches behind him into some root cell and pulls forth a little girl. She looks as bad as you do. One of them, you can have her. And the other. One of them. Or I'll tear her little head off right now.
Don't.
What's the other item?
It was a bag of marbles. I'm gonna slingshot to him. Okay, I'm grabbing my slingshot, grabbing some of the.
You know, I have to say, this place is really not very well thought out. I mean, the zombies earlier, laughably bad.
Beat it by 10.
You fire the marbles. They streak right over Wyatt's shoulder, passing through an insubstantial Tom, and hitting a little girl right in the chest, sliding down, landing in her hand. She looks up and her eyes glitter for just a second, and then she fades away. As she fades, the harvester creature grows even paler, seems to diminish slightly, and with a snarl of rage.
Okay, so is this my last chance then?
In a snarl of rage, he dims the lights around him and seems to expand larger and larger. I have had enough of you. His arms extend forward towards the insubstantial Tom, tearing through the fabric of the Hawaiian shirt. Crimson fountains and blossoms around the wounds as he slams him into the wall, leaving bits of him still inside of Tom's frame as Tom's head and chin collapses, blood pouring from the wounds. Roll initiative. Harvester is an 18.
27?
27 for Wyatt.
26.
26 for Maddox. You just stabbed Tom. What are you gonna do?
Do I go first or do you?
You go first. Wyatt.
Yeah. I am going to attack with both swords. I'm going to try to sever the arm that attacked Tom and get him free.
They kind of as I said, they disconnected him. Imagine his arm coming like blades, shoving through his chest, and then just starting over right there. The parts that are still sticking out of Tom, but they're far over in the wall. He is not attached to those bits anymore. It's like he put his arms through his chest and then has new ones.
Slopped them off and made new ones. Okay, well then I'm going to try to pull those out of Tom.
Give me a roll against your body score, but because oh wait, no, you're not. And you haven't said the words in front of the castle, so you're just rolling against your normal body score.
Yep.
I apologize.
Because we weren't by the castle.
Yep.
I actually beat that.
Yes!
Ripping one, you pull as hard as you can. And it's like pulling metal from metal. It scrapes, and once it pours clear, the wound is massive. It is like a real chest wound on a person. It is graphic and horrible. And should not be possible.
Yeah.
Maddox.
There's
There's
still
still one
another
student,
arm.
but he's just hanging there limply on a wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Harvester is still in the room and very much hostile.
I'm going to pull out the other arm.
All right, roll against your body score.
I matched it.
Takes everything you have. Like grinding metal on metal, you're able to pull it free, and Tom's body collapses to the floor. Oop. As Tom collapses, the Harvester moves menacingly towards you. One arm, like a blade, swings it across as though to take your head from your body. Right over the top of your head, Wyatt, the blade strikes, sending sparks flying as it grinds along the basement wall. His other arm shoots out like a spear, going right beside your head, sending rock and debris flying and shattering one of the beams where it impacts. Back to you, Wyatt.
So this is your clever plan now. Get really big and have knife arms. 'Cause that's scary. Good God. I mean, is there any trope he hasn't hit yet? You're really bad at this. You're really, really bad at this. Do you even know what kids are afraid of? Because this is not cutting it. Are you getting hungry? You getting a little hangry? Is that what's going on? Getting a little fear hangry? Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer, buddy.
Oh, we're gonna regret the words. Oh, because we're real scared, baby.
No. What next? Do you have ooh, it's a snake worm. Ooh,
No. Yeah, I want to see more maggots coming out of mouths.
Bugs.
Like little bugs
more
and
bugs.
roaches
That'll get us.
and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. breakdancing dead kids with bugs coming out of the eyeballs.
Oh yeah, waltzing kids.
Yeah, waltzing. That's waltzing.
Holy shit.
That's a-
Waltzing kids. If there's
Man.
one thing that's gonna get you.
Yeah, I mean.
Enough! Your little friend can't help you anymore. You're mine now.
Well,
There's no way out.
we don't need his help. You kinda suck. Nice top hat though. That's really holding the whole
Oh
look
yeah,
together.
no wait, look at this, and I pull out the tattered top hat and I put it on. Ooh, I'm the harvester.
Oh.
Boo boo boo.
Oh no!
I'm gonna stab you with my arm now.
Oh!
Doink.
She's 12 and she's better than you.
Boom boom boom. You're gonna regret this.
Metal.
Click.
Hi, my name is Tom. I'm here to serve. If you look down, you'll notice that there are some chains around your ankle. They are bolted to the floor there. Those are the chains of Prometheus. I just summoned them from a loot box. They kept a god in place for a really, really, really long time in Greece.
Or so you can understand it.
I know.
A really long time.
You are not a good thing, and you could have been. You eat all wrong. There were other ways. You have taught me so much, and I am so very glad that we had a chance to meet. Maddox, would you mind setting the timer on that hydrogen bomb? We have to leave.
Oh shit. Yeah, sure. How much time do we need?
Not long.
Okay,
We're just going to take a short jaunt off the table.
got it. Not long. Go.
What are you doing?
We're leaving, and you're staying. It's your home.
What? No! No!
We
No!
don't want you anywhere near us.
No!
Or anyone else.
Ooh, game over.
Well, not yet. We should still leave.
Oh yeah. Well, I just
It's
wanted
the
to
green
mock
button.
it. Green. Click.
You start the timer. Follow Tom out of the manor house. And the sounds of screaming, "No! No!" behind you. A white opening appears before you. Tom strolls through it.
Wait.
You enter the white room. Screams of the harvester following you. As the white door shuts behind you, you feel a slight pressure wave and a little bit of heat. In this white room, before you is Bobby Maxwell and Lizzie Foster. They look confused and a little troubled, but both seem to recognize you.
Well, Bobby, looks like we're getting out of here.
You saved me.
Seemed the thing to do.
Thank you. What's your name?
Wyatt.
That's a good name. I like that name.
It's treated me well.
Thank you, Wyatt.
My pleasure, Bobby.
Maddox.
I'll go up to her.
She's doing the pretend tough thing. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
A little bit fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I don't know what's next for you, but I want you to know that you matter. And you have a place. You may not know where it is now, but you'll find it. Because you matter. And you're supposed to be here. Okay?
And you have got a lot of great Iron Maiden ahead of you.
Yeah. You have no idea.
And then in a flash, it's gone. You feel yourselves traveling through the metaverse again. Maddox, you find yourself in what seems to be an office. Though the world around you is quite strange. All that you see is black, white, and shades of gray. A rotary telephone sits on the desk in front of you, along with half a bottle of bourbon and an overflowing ashtray. The door to the office bursts open, and a man enters. His eyes are wide. His clothing reminds you of an old movie. On the open door, facing outwards, is a simple image of a human eye and 2 words, Private Detective. Wyatt, you find yourself at a receptionist-type desk outside of an office. The door has the image of a human eye on it, along with 2 words, Private Detective. Papers are scattered across the desk, and a small stack of business cards rests on the corner. They read, Max Malone, Private Detective. A noise comes from the office. Rising to your feet, you open the door, catching a reflection of yourself as you do so. A very young man, dressed in quite outdated suit. Inside the office, sitting at a desk, is a tall blonde woman, dressed in men's clothing. She has a rather surprised look on her face. A radio on the corner of the room clicks on. Good morning, Chicago! Today is Wednesday, the 13th of November. The great American hero Old Blue continues to aid Titan and the Allies fighting the Nazis on the Western Front, while our other brave American heroes assist the United States Navy and Marine Corps in the Pacific. The absence of heroes has led to an increase in criminal activity, with police struggling to keep up without the support of our costumed crusaders. This just in, supervillain criminal Ezekiel the Undying has just escaped a maximum security prison. And that's all the time we have for Project Metaverse tonight. I want to see you all at the holiday special this Saturday. Watch DFA in January. Come back on the 5th of February for more Masters in the Metaverse. We love you. You're fantastic. Thank you and good night.